And the next skill is skill 6. Listen for who and what with multiple nouns. Uh, for this skill, in dialogues with multiple nouns, it can be confusing to determine which noun is performing the action or what the action is referring to. This skill involves focusing on the relationship between the nouns to correctly interpret the dialogue and answer question. And for this skill, I will give the example.
Number 1.
The passenger arrived in a taxi.
Yes, and then she had the taxi driver wait at the corner.
What does the woman mean?
After we listen the audio, we can choose the correct answer between A, B, C, or D. And for this question, the correct answer is C. The cab driver waited for the passengers because the women in the conversation says that had the taxi. She says she had the taxi driver wait at the corner. This means that the taxi driver was waiting for the passenger at the corner. This statement clarifies that it was the taxi driver who waited, not the passenger. The next is skill 7, that is listen for negative expression. In dialogue containing negative expression, the correct answer is often a positive statement that contains the opposite meaning of the negative expression. It's important to focus on identifying the negative words and understanding their implied positive meanings. And for the skill, I will give the example.
Number 1.
Are you going to take out the trash?
I have no time to do it.
What does the woman mean?
After we listen the audio and we get the question, we can choose the correct answer between A, B, C, or D. And for this question, the correct answer is C. Uh, the man has the wrong key because in the conversation the woman says that isn't the right key for the door, which means that is not the correct key for the door. This statement indicates that the key the man is using is wrong. Therefore, the correct answer is C. The man has the wrong key. And for this skill, there are general strategy for we can use, that is identify negative expression is look for words like no, not, never, and etc. The second is recognize the implied positive meaning, that the correct answer often involves interpreting the negative expression. For the next is skill 8, that is listen for double negative expression. For this skill, a double negative occurs when two negative expressions are used together in a sentence. In English, a double negative often make the meaning positive or imply the opposite of what the individual negative suggests. Mm, When answering question with double negative, focus on understanding the overall positive or opposite meaning. And for this skill, I will give the example.
Number 1.
Do you think Ron Rogers will be elected?
Well, it's not completely impossible.
What does the woman imply about Ron?
Okay, for example, skill 8, we have listened the audio and we get the question, and so after it we choose the answer between A, B, C, and D, the correct answer is D. It may happen. Because the women's response is it's not completely impossible indicates a degree of uncertainty about Ron's chance of winning the election. She doesn't express high confidence or certainty in his victory, but she also doesn't rule it out entirely. Answer and explanation both based on the women's response. The best answer to the question is what does the women imply about Ron is D? It may happen. This option accurately reflects the women's caution optimism. She suggests that there's a possibility Ron might win, but she doesn't guarantee it. And for the skill, there are general strategy that is identifiable negatives that look for two negative elements in a sentence, such as not, nor, not, no, never, or either. And the second is interpret the meaning. That is understand that double negative usually lead to a positive or opposite meaning. And the last is match the correct interpretation. Okay, the next is skill 9, that is listen for almost negative expression. That almost negative expression is are words that imply something close to negative meaning but are not entirely negative. Mm, this expression suggests that something is almost not true or briefly true, creating a subtle meaning. Recognizing this expression help understand the implied message. And for this skill, I have an example. We can listen.
Number 1.
Do you expect a lot of rain this month?
It hardly ever rains in July.
What does the man mean?
Okay, the correct answer for skill 9, number 1 is A. There's little rain in July because the key phrase in the dialogue is hardly ever rains. This expression indicates that it rarely rains in July, which is the same as saying there is little rain during the month. And for the skill 9, there are general strategy. For the first, identify almost negative expression. Look for words like hardly, barely, rarely, or only that imply something close to negative meanings. And the second is interpret the subtle meaning. This expression suggests that something is almost not true or happens only to a small degree. And the third is choose the answer that matches the implied meaning. Select the answer that aligns with the almost negative implication in the sentence. Okay, next is skill 10. For the skill, I give the example.
Number 1.
Are you pleased with the exam results?
I couldn't be happier.
What does the woman mean?
Okay, after we listen the audio, we can choose the option between A, B, C, and D. And for the question, the correct answer is D. She is delighted with the result because the key phrase in the dialogue is couldn't be happier. This expression is a superlative, meaning the woman is expressing the highest level of happiness possible. Therefore, she is delighted with the exam result. For this skill, there are general strategy. For the first, identify extreme expression. Look for phrases like "cold down behavior," "never tried harder," or other similar expression that emphasizes an extreme degree of a feeling or action. The second is interpret the intensity. Understand that this expression usually refer to the highest or lowest possible degree of something.